Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show how we can know when Jesus comes to the very minute.
I'm going to need more bourbon. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the School of Faith. I'm Hutch, and today we are going to keep right on talking eschatology. And we're going to do that by looking at a specific video here on YouTube from a channel called Rapture at Twilight. Now, I am only going to be playing clips that I have snipped out of this particular video. I'm doing that because this creator is very repetitive, and I don't want to make you all have to suffer through listening to her just continue to repeat herself. So if you do want to watch the entire video so you can see the context of the clips, and I promise I'm not editing her out of context, but if you want to go back and see the whole video, I'm going to put a link to it down here in the low bar. So let's look at this video.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show how we can know when Jesus comes to the very minute. I've actually already shown you, but I'm going to show it to you in this video because move aside, no one knows the day or the hour, because we actually do know to the very minute when Jesus will return.
So no, you aren't hallucinating. You really just did hear her say, move over. No one knows the day or hour, because we know down to the minute when the Lord is going to return. So for the sake of my video, I want to make sure that I read that passage in context so that you guys can kind of know what's happening leading up to that particular statement. So this is found in Matthew chapter 24. It's part of the Olivet Discourse. So Jesus foretells the destruction of the temple at the beginning of the chapter. Then he goes on to speak of the signs of the end of the age. And then he turns to speaking of the abomination of desolation, then the coming of the Son of Man, and the lesson of the fig tree. And then picking up in verse 36, this is what we read. It says, "But concerning that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. For as were the days of Noah, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. For as in those days before the flood they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day when Noah entered the ark, and they were unaware until the flood came and swept them all away, so will be the coming of the Son of Man." Now, you could only call that a very clear passage of Scripture. And so it's going to be really interesting, to say the least, to see how it is that she is going to try to get around that particular text. So let's go back to the video.
So this morning I spoke about how this mystery that's in the Gospels about there being this dual parallel of time going on, and how it's been kept hidden for so many years and only been revealed in the last few years since this blood moon tetrad began. And that should give us great confidence that because this has only been revealed in the last few years, and it coincides with the signs that we've been given by the Lord through the lunar and solar eclipses, this should give us great confidence that what is in this timeline is from the Father, and therefore it can be believed and it can be trusted.
So this is the kind of thing that just makes me want to tear my hair out by the roots. The idea that because this is new, it can be trusted is just unfathomable. So there's an old chestnut that goes like this, and I think it's true. If you're teaching anything that's totally new in theology, chances are you're wrong. And so the idea that because this is new that it can be trusted is, I don't even have words for this. So I'll put it like this. So if her argument is to hold water, that this can be trusted because it's new, and furthermore, that this is a mystery that's been hidden up till now, then what you're claiming when you say that is that for the past 2,000 years, Christians have not been able to understand that text, that God has hidden something from them for 2,000 years, and somehow you are the special one that God has revealed this to, which, I mean, that's got to be nice, right? Because that ultimately, like it makes you the final arbiter of truth. No, that actually flies in the face of Scripture. Not just the specific passage that I read moments ago, but it flies in the face of all of Scripture, right? So the things that are revealed belong to us and our children, and the things that are concealed belong to the Lord. And so, no, Scripture isn't hiding these things from us. Now, certainly there are places where Scripture may be difficult to understand. I'm certainly not denying that. But the idea that somehow there's this secret message hidden in the Gospels, and you have to be able to recognize the eclipses and the blood moons and everything else, folks, that's very nearly blasphemous. Let's get back to this video.
Okay. So I did a video this morning in terms of highlighting the fact that just by the very fact that this mystery has been kept hidden for so long and has now been revealed should be an amazing marvel to us, that this is a confirming sign that God is speaking to us.
Well, you're right. It is amazing, but it certainly isn't amazing in the way that you think. What's amazing is that anyone could have the hubris to take the position that you're taking, that that God has spoken to you and revealed to you what the godliest, most Christ-like men of the last 2,000 years haven't seen. Now, I'm you know what, I'm going to delve more into that in a second. Let's go back to the video.
So in these night watches, they are 6 months apart. And because they are 6 months apart, and they are 3 hours for each night watch, okay, 1 hour equals 2 months, right? So you have 3 hours in a night watch equaling a 6-month time period. Therefore, 1 hour would equal 2 months. So, in 1 hour, there is 60 minutes. And in 2 months, there is 60 days. So, when you count the time frame of what goes on in this timeline, every single minute that passes is a literal 1 day in our time. That's how we can know the time of his arrival to the minute.
Okay, so 60 minutes in an hour, 60 days in a month, a day is. I didn't know there was going to be math involved, but how about we do this? How about we take Jesus at his word that no man knows the day or the hour? That's a lot easier. I don't even have to go get a calculator.
That's how we can know the time of his arrival to the minute, which will point us to the day. So by knowing the minute when he comes will actually point us to the day.
Okay, now I want you to think this through with me for just a minute, okay? So if we know the minute, we can know the day. So what that means is that when Jesus said, no man can know the day, what he really meant was somebody can know the day. That is so illogical, right? So you don't get to like find a way around this, right? Oh well, I don't know the day, I know the minute, but because I know the minute, I know the day. Well, if you know the minute, and you know the day, then you know the day. Like, this isn't difficult, folks. I'm going to stop here for today. Let me just close by saying this. This is the sort of place that you wind up going when you refuse to take Scripture at its word. Okay, so we don't need a calculator. You don't need, the ability to identify the difference between a blood moon and a half blood moon, and whether or not the moon is a muggle. Okay, all you need to know is what Christ said, that no man knows the day or the hour. And haven't we learned what happens when you start setting dates? Does no one remember Harold camping? Like, how did we get here? Oh, wait, I know exactly how we got here. We got here by not trusting Scripture. I hope you guys have a good afternoon. Hey everybody, thank you so much for sticking around for the end of the video. If you guys are being helped, please subscribe to the channel. If you have questions that you would like to ask, feel free to leave them in the comments thread below. And once again, thank you guys so much for all of your support. I look forward to seeing you again next time. God bless.